These are the members of the African Union Executive Council. They have come together to examine proposals for this weekend's AU Summit of Heads of State and Governments. During the meeting, the chairperson of the AU Commission said Africa has made remarkable progress over the past year, boosting its representation on many important forums such as BRICS and the G20. Moussa Faki Mahamat, however, also conceded that the continent continues to grapple with a range of problems, including insecurity, military coups, and economy-related hurdles.
Whether the Sudan in flames,
whether it's about Sudan that is in flames, an incredible devastation, Somalia is still under the jihadist threat, and the Horn of Africa continues to be a source of concern. The resurgence of military coup, pre- and post-electoral violence, humanitarian crisis linked to war, and also the effect of climate change are all very serious sources of concern for us.
are all very serious sources of concern for us.
The newly appointed foreign minister of the host nation, Taye Atske Selassie, said Africa's seat in the G20 bloc is a big achievement. He added, however, that it must be exploited to ensure African voices are not just heard, but listened to.
The African Union
Africa Union's closer participation with the G20 is indeed essential. Participation of the Africa Union at the G20 would provide us with a unique platform to contribute to global economic governance and decision. We must therefore ensure that the voice of Africa is heard and that our participation is meaningful.
The voice of Africa is heard.
The Executive Council's meeting also analyzed international events and Africa's response to them. In particular, they focused on the conflicts and uncertainty in Eastern Europe and the Middle East.
We have in the early hours of those wars and related and unspeakable atrocities called for a cessation of atrocities, the release of all states and prisoners, and a resolute commitment to a political solution based on the principles of the two states, living in peace and in respect of international law and in full security of the Palestinian and Israel people and of all the people of the region.
5 member countries of the African Union, including Sudan, Gabon, and Mali, are banned from taking part in this summit for various reasons such as military coups or civil conflict. This year's African Union Heads of State and Government Summit is themed Educate an African for the 21st Century, building resilient education systems for increased access to inclusive, lifelong, quality, and relevant learning in Africa. The summit also takes a significant amount of time to pass a decision for silencing the guns in Africa and curb unconstitutional change in government.